What if I told you that something you experience every single day is slowly wearing down your body, disrupting your sleep, weakening your immune system, and even shortening your life? And that something is stress. And the scary part is most people don't even realize how much stress is really affecting their physical health. Hi guys, welcome back to the Primrose channel. I'm Primrose and this is your safe space for healing, self-care and rediscovery. Today we're going to break down exactly how stress impacts your health and more importantly, how you can start taking back control of your life. So let's start with what exactly happens in your body when you're stressed. When you're stressed, your brain triggers something called the fight or flight response. It releases stress hormones that are called cortisol and adrenaline. And usually these hormones are useful, especially when you're in danger, right? But the problem is your body doesn't know the difference between a real threat and everyday worries like you meeting deadlines or you having money issues or overthinking. So what happens to your body when stress becomes constant? What happens to your body when you're consistently under stress? Your body simply stays in survival mode. Your heart rate stays elevated. Your muscle stays tense. How many of you right now, if you were to adjust your shoulders, you'll probably hear a sound, right? And your mind fully never relaxes. And over time, having this sort of stress on yourself starts to take a serious toll on your physical health. So simply, how does stress damage your health? Having chronic stress, it doesn't just make you feel overwhelmed, right? It affects every system in your body. First, your brain. Stress can lead to constant anxiety, having racing thoughts, difficulties in focusing. Stress can even shrink areas of the brain that are responsible for memory and emotional control. Secondly, stress can impact heavily on your sleep. You ever notice that you can't switch off at night? Like the whole day you've been okay, but as soon as it gets to bedtime, you simply can't shut off. Your mind is thinking about the grocery, the school meeting that you have, the job you haven't applied for. Did I actually wash the covers? Your mind is simply on overdrive, especially when you're about to go to sleep. And what that does, it then starts affecting your sleeping life. And stress then keeps your mind active when your mind is simply supposed to be resting at that time. Thirdly, stress affects your immune system. So some of these physical health issues that you have, you might think, oh, I don't know how it came on. It could actually be a cause of being overly stressed. Because when you're stressed, your body becomes weaker to fight a lot of diseases that you might have. Your immune system becomes weaker and it becomes prone to a lot of infections. And the other part that's triggered by stress is your heart. Because long-term stress is linked to high blood pressure. So when you hear people say, oh, I'm on high blood pressure medication, I'm on this, you go to your doctor and the doctor, the first thing they ask you is, are you stressed? Is there anything right now in your life that might be impacting, how you feel, that might be causing this high blood pressure? Yeah, some people, they might have, high blood pressure just because of other things, but usually it's linked through stress. When you're stressed, your high blood pressure goes. And when that happens, that can trigger you to have a stroke. It could trigger you to have inflammations in the brain. In simple terms, when you're expressing stress, it's not simply in your brain, right? It's literally happening everywhere around your body. So now let's talk about something that a lot of people overlook, right? Worrying. Because when you're worrying about things, it almost feels like you're being productive. Your brain goes into this space where it feels like, oh, you're worrying about money, you're worried about this bill, you're worried about this, but your brain is actually not solving a problem. It's just trying to be in a survival mode of worrying, and worrying causes stress. It doesn't bring a solution. No plan has ever come from worrying. Worrying just simply makes you feel like you're being productive, like you're preparing or solving a problem, but you're not. Or worrying about situations is simply you replaying stress in your head. Because when you're worried about something, you sometimes think about the worst case scenario, right? You even get to a point where you might try to control an outcome or a situation that hasn't even happened. You start creating situations in your head that are not even real. And that's why chronic worrying is so exhausting, because you're simply putting your brain and your body through so much stress that it doesn't need. So how do you start reducing stress? Or how do you stop stressing? This Remember, stress is a part of life. So there's no way I'm gonna sit here and tell you in this video that, oh, you can actually stop stressing. That is not true. There will always be life stresses. However, you can train your brain not to react to every situation in a stressful way. So you can do this by interrupting the stress cycle. So next time when you feel overwhelmed about something, pause, take a moment, breathe in and breathe out. This exercise simply signals your brain that you're safe. How many times have you been in a situation where you're overwhelmed and you just stop and you just go, literally you're passing oxygen to your brain to let your brain know that it can release the tension, that you're safe, you're okay, and you're present. Secondly, learn to focus on what you can control, because stress often comes from the thought of wanting to overdo or wanting to control everything or wanting to take control of things that are out of your control. And most stress simply comes from things out of your control. So sometimes it's important to bring yourself back to what you can actually do in the moment. Thirdly, learn to create mental boundaries. This is so important. Not every thought deserves your attention. And remember, just because you think something, it doesn't mean it's true. Sometimes our mind does play games with us. Sometimes I have to catch myself saying, why are you thinking like that? Okay, you're stressed about this, but why are you now stressed about this? You know, sometimes you could be stressed about, looking for a place to stay. Yeah, maybe your tenancy agreement has got like a year lease left or 6 months, and then you start worrying about, oh my God, what's going to happen if I don't find a place in 3 months? I'm going to become homeless, or I might have to go and live with my auntie, or where will my children go? Already, have you seen, you've created a long circle of worries, of things that don't even exist. So learn to create mental boundaries. Number 4, give your body the release that it needs. What do I mean by this? Move your body. Bend over something so small like going out for a walk, exercising, even indoor exercise. If you don't like social space, you don't want to go to the gym, or you find it awkward going out for a walk, you can exercise in your house. Put a workout video on YouTube. There's plenty of those. Just move your body. This helps to release stress and tension from your body. It simply helps to burn off stress hormones. And finally, learn to rest without guilt. I've had to learn this. Sometimes on my day off, I'm supposed to be resting, but what do? I start cleaning the house, I start doing the laundry, I start even washing windows that don't need washing, cleaning the walls, and before you know it, I'm exhausted. And now the other things that I was worrying about, they're now even more intensified, because now my brain is just exhausted and my brain is at risk of just soaking any worries that I might have had lingering on. So it's important to just take rest. You're allowed to rest without not feeling guilt. Your body needs recovery time, and constant productive without rest only fuels stress further. So if you're struggling with stress, here's something important to understand. Stress often comes from how we interpret situations. Not just the situation itself, how we interpret it. Two people can experience the same event, right? One person can stay calm over the situation and the other person can be so overwhelmed. I think I used to be the one person that usually is so overwhelmed about something. If I had a goal to do a certain something by a certain day, if I don't get it done by that time, I start panicking, right? I start feeling like I've run out of time. This thing is never going to get done. However, my partner now, he's a different type of fish. When something doesn't happen, he's like, that's okay. That's fine. I'm sure we can do it at a different time. We can, he start looking at options. So sometimes how we react to things is the cause of our stress hormones. So always learn to step back. Question your thoughts and learn not to react immediately when something doesn't go your way. Change how stress affects you, because your physical health, your brain, everything depends on how you react to everything. I hope this video has helped to make you feel encouraged and supported. And if you're struggling with stress, please seek help. If it's something that you feel like you've tried to do it by yourself, or maybe some of the tips that I've shared, if you feel like, you know what, I've already tried this before, nothing is working, please seek help. And that might look like booking an appointment to see your GP, just to talk further through an assessment of different ways that you can manage the stresses in your life. Thank you again, guys, for being with me today. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and if you've not subscribed to this channel, please just take a moment to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.